Althorpe House, Northamptonshire, the seat of the Spencer dynasty. Diana is buried on an island in the estate. At her funeral, her brother, the current Earl, vowed that the Spencers, the blood family, would take care of William and Harry. Their maternal line is more aristocratic than the royal family's Germanic House of Windsor. When Diana was 14, her father inherited the title Earl Spencer and Althorpe with its rich heritage. Ancestral portraits grace the rooms of Diana's home before her royal marriage. At 16, and still a schoolgirl, she showed Prince Charles the family portrait gallery. Like her grandmother Cynthia, she was very much a Spencer and proud of her family's status. Throughout her troubled life in the royal family, she never forgot that she was the daughter of an English earl with a flawless pedigree.
I think there's no doubt that in the royal game, if you've got an impeccable bloodline of your own, it puts you at an advantage. Because the way the English system still very much works, where royalty is concerned, is that your status at birth is still what counts to an extraordinary degree. And the fact that Diana was able to look the Windsors in the eye and be prepared to compare her pedigree with theirs any day meant that she was able to take an independent line when it was necessary.
Her mother Frances, her red-haired brother Charles, then an Eton schoolboy, and her married sisters Sarah and Jane all watched Diana's splendid wedding to Prince Charles in 1981. This was the dynasty's greatest triumph. 20-year-old Diana united the Spencers with the royal family. Her father had survived serious illness to enjoy his proudest day. 2 years after William, Diana gave birth to Harry in 1984. The couple now had an heir and a spare. Charles, who had wanted a girl, said, "Oh, it's a boy, and he's even got rusty hair."
A friend of mine had gone to see Harry, and there he was with his red hair, which Prince Charles apparently didn't like. And she was cuddling him and saying, "He's my little Spencer now." And he does have the looks of the Spencers.
Eversfield Manor in Devon was the home of Diana's most famous lover, Major James Hewitt. She admitted their affair on television. A legend has spread that Harry is red-haired Hewitt's son. Ken Wharf, her bodyguard during her 5-year romance with Hewitt, is among those who know the truth.
What we saw after the birth of Harry was a lot of speculation and rumour that Harry was the son of James Hewitt. Well, statistically, we know that was impossible. I know personally it wasn't, because the princess told me so, and I think really that's where the matter ends.
The story will never ever go away. The copper-haired Hewitt, sandy-haired Harry, the dates and everything. Everyone thinks he's got to be Hewitt's son. Also, there are some physical characteristics which I would commend to you, but particularly one. Harry, his brother, his father, and his grandfather, Prince Philip, share one thing in common. They all have sausage fingers.
In 2004, at the opening of the Diana Memorial Fountain in London's Hyde Park, the Spencers and the Windsors met for the first time since Diana's funeral. Earl Spencer greeted William and Harry. Despite his vow at Diana's funeral, he'd been unable to protect Harry from gossip and innuendo.
He is terribly hurt by all these revelations that keep coming out about his mother, the endless books, the videotapes, all the allegations that keep coming out. The latest one is that Prince Charles lost all interest romantically in his wife after Harry was born. How do you think that makes Harry feel? Apart from that, Harry has had to live with these stories that he's James Hewitt's son, which he most certainly is not. He just happens to have red hair, just like all his cousins on the Spencer side of the family. So poor Harry is a tormented young man.
The Queen praised Diana.
I cannot forget, and nor can those of us here today who knew her much more personally, as sister, wife, mother, or daughter-in-law, the Diana who made such an impact on our lives. Of course, there were difficult times, but memories mellow with the passing of the years. I remember especially the happiness she gave to my 2 grandsons.
William was 15 and Harry almost 13 when they walked behind their mother's coffin in view of the watching world.
To find that your mother's died suddenly in a car crash in Paris would be difficult for anybody. The very fact that Harry at that time was in his early teens would have been doubly difficult, and to do so publicly in front of a global media circus. But I think this was a classic case of Harry grieving the loss of somebody that was crucially important to his life.
More than anyone else, Tiggy Legg Burke, the prince's nanny, helped them through the darkest phase of their loss and grief.
Tiggy was pivotal because she looked after the boys. As soon as they came down from Scotland and the funeral was over, they went to Highgrove, and that week, which must have been one of the most difficult weeks of their lives, Tiggy was there, and she took them out, anything to distract them, because they loved Tiggy very much and still do. And in fact, Tiggy's the only person that Harry will really listen to.
Tiggy had been brought in to look after the boys when their parents separated, and Charles was frequently away. She took Harry abseiling in Wales. Diana resented her role.
Diana used to get really annoyed with Tiggy because she felt Tiggy wasn't looking after the boys properly, and she let Harry abseil down a rock in Wales without a protective helmet, and she was furious. But basically, she loathed Tiggy, which is actually completely understandable because she saw that Tiggy was usurping her position as a mother.